In today's video, I am game hunting again. So today I was specifically looking for some new GameCube games that I had heard were traded into this shop. So I was excited to see them in person, but first I just stopped to see some Star Wars figures that I love so much, so I always enjoy checking them out. They also had a wide variety of other action figures, so I always enjoy taking a look at them. They just started selling Pokemon cards as well, so I did just take a quick look and see what was available. Then I went over to the Super Nintendo section. Again, wasn't really looking for anything in particular. They actually had a pretty good selection, so I did check out every single game, make sure there was nothing I wanted to purchase. I also looked at the NES games, but not really looking to build that collection at the moment, so just kind of quickly looked at them. But they also had a good collection of NES games as well. So first up, I took a look at Kirby Air Ride. It's been on my game hunting list for GameCube for quite a while. So I just made sure the manual was in good condition. And then also had the disc cleaned. And then Wave Race is just something from childhood I remember, so I wanted to again just double check the manual and then had the disc cleaned as well. But the discs were actually in really good condition. It's just nice that the owner of the store cleans all of the discs before purchasing. So again, it took some time to look through the NES games. Here's kind of another look at what they had. I like that they keep mostly everything behind the glass case so it stays nice and clean. It doesn't get too dusty. And they keep a lot of games in the glass cases, not just the most popular ones, so I like that. Then I went over and looked at the Japanese case. I don't collect any games that are in Japanese, but I do think it's pretty cool, so I may start doing that eventually. We'll see. So then I checked out Wario World, another game that's been on my list for quite a while for GameCube. So the case looked good, manual looked good, disc looked good, so I knew I would be picking it up today. Then again, just look through some more. You can see they did have a lot of GameCube games behind the desk, so full shelves of really good games, Wii games, Sega games. They were fully stocked today. And of course a bunch of Switch games as well. So it's always nice to see a lot of the heavy hitter games. I know they will sell fast, so that is why I came to this shop as soon as I heard they had a big trade-in. So I also went to the more valuable case. You'll see Go-Go Hypergrind in there, which is so expensive. One of the most expensive GameCube games. Actually, it didn't even have the manual, and it was so expensive. So it's pretty crazy. I don't think I'll ever collect it. It's just too much money. I was also looking at the game guides, of course. I do semi-collect them, at least for some of my favorite games. I actually just recently watched all the extended editions of the Lord of the Rings movies, so I was just looking at that for a moment. I never played any of the games, but I was just curious to see what the graphics were like. And maybe someday I will play one of them. But yeah, I do enjoy looking through the gaming guides, magazines, things like that. They do usually get a pretty good amount of these in every week, so I always like to see what the new ones are. So then I was checking out this guide for A Link Between Worlds. It was so nice. Really a heavy book, and I might grab one of those someday. I know the Zelda ones are typically really well done. So there were none that really stood out today to actually purchase, but still just like looking through them. Let me know if you do enjoy me reading manuals, looking through them. I might post some more on my other channel. So speaking of channels, Pokemon channel, it's just another fun game I wanted to pick up. So I took a look at it. And then at Pokemon Coliseum, I decided to pass on this one. It's a super expensive game and I do want to pick it up eventually, but just wasn't in my budget for the day. Donkey Konga 2, I did decide to grab though. Again, another one on my list. So then I went back and just checked out this case again. Just wanted to see what was on the bottom level. And then on the opposite side of the store, they do keep all of the kind of more common games displayed, so these ones aren't behind a glass case. So I was looking at some of the Super Nintendo games, Nintendo 64, NES, just seeing if there was anything I wanted to grab. Sometimes they have really good sales on these games, so I always like to double check. But nothing was standing out to me today. So then I moved right along, was looking at some of the common Wii titles. Again, nothing specific standing out to me today. Same with PlayStation. They always have a ton of PlayStation games. So there really is a lot to look through. Yeah, so they had that promotion, $5 each, buy 3, get 1 free. Which is pretty good if you're trying to build a little collection or buy for your kids. So I think that is really nice. I did quickly look at the PSP games too because I want to start collecting for PSP. I just haven't started yet. I need to actually get a PSP first. So I was kind of getting ahead of myself. They always have some cute little toys displayed too, so just looking at one of my favorite characters from growing up in the 90s. But yeah, there's always so many things to look at. It's really easy to get overwhelmed, so I always try to go into a game store with sort of a plan if I can, so I don't get overwhelmed and just buy random stuff. So again, the GameCube games were the purpose today, but still enjoy walking around. As you can see, they also started selling a lot of toys, which I think is cool, considering it's not really easy to find toy stores these days. So I always love when I see kids looking at this stuff and thinking it's really cool, especially the Star Wars stuff. I'm a big Star Wars fan, at least of the original movies, so just like checking that stuff out. So again, just made sure these were the games I wanted to go with. They did have so many more games that were traded in, but again, tried to stick to a budget. And then that was it. I went home for the day. So again, I got Wave Race. Just a silly one on my list. Let me know if you played this game growing up, or let me know if you played any of these games growing up. Also, let me know if you have a specific GameCube game that you're trying to find right now. It's so hard to find GameCube games that are complete and good condition and not tons and tons of money, so it's a challenge. Wario World again, another one on my list. And yeah, I always just like to make sure the case is in top condition, the manual's in top condition. I always say if you're going to invest your money and buy some of these games, just making sure they're in the top condition is so important. Especially since I'll be playing these games now and hopefully for many years to come. So I hope they can last as long as possible. And yeah, Pokemon channel. Again, when I get home, I do just double check everything. They do have a nice return policy. And when I'm shopping, again, there's always so many people in the store. Sometimes I can't really focus on what I'm doing, so I get home, double check, make sure everything is exactly how I want it to be for the collection. Obviously, typically the cases are a little bit dirty, so when you see me cleaning them on my other channel, it typically really is the real thing. I am cleaning either new games or games that are dusty on my shelf, so it's kind of like a constant thing I do for my collection. Kirby's Air Ride, I'm so excited to play. I remember playing it so long ago, and I just love Kirby games. So I was really excited to pick this one up. And yeah, I was happy that all the manuals were in good condition. No big tears in the pages or anything like that. And then yeah, the last game was Donkey Konga 2. Just made sure, again, it looked perfect. Made sure the disc was nice and clean and perfect. And then got ready to organize and put these new games on my GameCube shelf, which I am kind of running out of room, so I need to figure out a plan for the future, how I'm going to organize things, but it does get me excited to just know the collection is growing and just more games, more fun. So thanks for coming along with me today. Actually wasn't planning on filming this trip, so sorry if the content wasn't that exciting, but trying to capture every game hunting trip I take, so thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you want more of these videos, and I'll see you in the next one.